I'm sitting here in my neighborhood park. One of the reasons why I wanted to move to this neighborhood, well, first of all, it's zoned for one of the best high schools in Maryland and certainly the best in PG County. And I wanted, KJ starting junior high school when we moved to have a good life. And now it's time to move on, not only from here, but this neighborhood, which, I still think is very beautiful and quaint in its way, but it's time to move on, like, from the area. And bigger still, this part of my life. Actually, it's not time right away, like not right now, but it will be very soon. And as anxious as I've been for my son to graduate and, my plans to move to Brooklyn, although I know some people think that that's really odd or crazy, as anxious as I've been for that to happen, I'm also anxious about it happening because it's a new chapter in my life and my son's life. And I'm starting to get a little bit of the empty nest, even though he might have to stay with me for a little bit until he gets going, but it's still knowing that time is near, knowing that it's pretty much imminent, and if God wills it, and I hope he does. I remember when my son had his 15th birthday and his 14th. And now he's 17 years old, and next year he'll be 18. And I thank God for every 17 of these years, really 18 if you count the womb now. I thank God for that, but at the same time, I don't even remember who I was in a good way before I was a mom. It's been the number one thing that's defined me for 17 years. And I've got some ideas. It's not like, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I've got some thoughts. But at the same time, it's kind of like, it's bittersweet because, while I have these thoughts and ideas, I'll always be his mother, but like the day-to-day caring for him and like that being my priority, I'm going to miss that, I'm letting go of some of those responsibilities now because he's 17 and it's time for him to learn, taking care of himself and being independent and learning consequences of doing or not doing things, and for me to like stay minimally involved because he's not going to get that sense of independence otherwise. So we've been doing that for about a year now, and I'm going into it talking mainly about his schoolwork, and I'm like, okay, if you don't get to school on time and if you don't you can't just do well at the assignments and the classes that you like. You have to graduate. And all those things are coming into play, but like at the same time, it's just going to be, it's kind of hard for me not to. And I'm scared also for this time to come, not just because of my own emotional stuff, but, and, sentimental stuff, but because I don't know if he's ready. I was telling a friend the other night, like some of the things still astonish me. Some things I see great maturity in him, but then others, I'm just like, what do you think? And I guess that's still typical for a 17-year-old. I can't really rush it, rush like that much taking responsibility and taking initiative for things. I just pray that it'll grow soon because, I mean, I want him to be able to be self-sufficient. I mean, when I was 17, there's no way that I wouldn't, have a job after school. But then I could, manage my work and manage my homework and, do those kinds of things. So it was easy for me to have money when I was 17. He's been working since he was 15, but only summer jobs. But anyway, all that to say that if you're gonna like schedule your whole world in school, including school and getting there on time by Discord, and when your friends are able to get on because there's a freaking time difference or like I don't know, whatever, then for some of his friends, a lot of them are here, but like he has one friend in Cali, but then I don't know what to tell you. If you think that's more important than your schoolwork, then fine. But anyway, I'm digressing a little bit to the point. I worry about things like that. And I, at the same time, am dealing with a lot of just feeling closed in. I'm ready. I picked Brooklyn in New York because I can be freed from driving and worrying about a car and car insurance and all that good stuff. I can just be done with that. I don't like to drive, and it's getting a little bit more dangerous for me to drive, especially at night, because my eyesight isn't that well. I'm older, and I work in front of a fucking computer all day, so it does something to your eyes. Everything's on a phone, so I can't see things on my phone, but I don't want that burden on me. I want to be able to get on a bus or a subway or taxi, what the hell ever, Lyft, and like just going about, or walk, better still. And so I kind of feel very closed in. I looked for things to do today, that might involve some things I'm interested in: music, literature, art. Something's going on in Baltimore, but again, there's a drive factor. I'm really scared of that. Whereas if I could get there on a subway or something, that'd be great. And I would have had a good time, not had to worry about anything. Except Fells Point, Baltimore. I think a train or something goes to downtown Baltimore, but, who knows. I'm just kind of ready. I'm ready for my new phase of life. I'm ready to do the, middle or half, God only knows, part of my life in a place where I feel free and where I feel that is more conducive to my interest and my personality. But I'm scared. And in the meantime, it's very, very hard for me to get through just kind of the day to day. I look out the window. I told a friend this too. I look out a window, and all I see is the same visual every day when I work. Like, it's the same, like, I have a parking lot view in my apartment, the same trees, the same houses. It just does not change, but for the change of seasons, which are subtle, because you just don't know, one day, 1 week, 1 month blends into the other. And so, especially because I'm kind of paranoid, if you will, about being 55 and like how long will I live, and and all that kind of shit. I just want to be able to live and say that I experienced like my free self, when like before I die, before I leave here. And I feel like I want that to come to fruition. So all that to say, I guess I'm making this video. I don't know if I'm going to post it. I might. I want to share how I feel in case anybody maybe feels the same way. And on that note, I want to share some optimistic things. I want to thank God for what I have now. I have a son who is healthy, who is intelligent, who's capable. I'm able to keep a roof over his head. I'm able to get him a lot of the things that he does want when he deserves them, and everything that he needs. We love each other. We have the typical parent-teenager thing, but at the end of the day, That boy hugs me, and I hug him every day. And I hope that's something that continues as much as it can when he gets his own family. Like, for, eternity, or for as long as we're here. But, I have a lot to be thankful for. I have friends. God, how could I forget that? I have friends and extended family that really care about me. Um, and I have a brother, a stepsister, and step family that cares about me. So I'm real blessed. And so those are things that I'm like looking forward to. I'm learning Spanish every day. I practice it every day. As a matter of fact, I can't forget. I'm going to lose my streak. I'm on a 460 something day streak or something crazy like that, which is awesome. What else? So many things I have to be grateful for, and so many things to look forward to. My plan is, I want to try to finish at the Fed, like my government job, whatever, until at least 20 years. I'm moving hook or crook, so I might have to get a new job if we stop doing remote in 2 years. But I want to get into my true loves, music and writing. I haven't written anything like for myself, except for the occasional social media posts, which I put into prose sometimes, like for a very long time. And I love music, and I want to be able to combine. My real dream is to be a roadie for a rock band, but I don't know. There are not any decent rock bands. I mean, there's some that are my age that put out the good music. But I wanna do something really engaged with music, and I think that thing is, being a music. I don't want to review or judge anyone. I just want to be able to feature artists and feature albums and stuff like that, and records and concerts. I want to be able to do that with my time, and I don't know, maybe get published in Rolling Stone. Who knows? But I definitely want to go back to my journalism roots. And I want to maybe go somewhere like India. I've always had this thing about India, going to India. I saw the Born Identity, or the second one, the Born Supremacy, I think it was, and they were in a place called Goa. And I'm like, oh shit, that looks dope. I mean, there's an ocean there, and they're living like in this little place, is half shack, half apartment, and there's a square that he goes through. And I'm like, shit, I would love to visit somewhere like that, maybe even live. Although the latter's probably not realistic, but I want to travel a little bit. Lots of things I want to do. So what I am hoping is God gives me that time. And then in the meantime, I can get through these bouts of just feeling really, really kind of fucked up at times. I take my depression medication, I'm out. Then I get my steps in, I take my insulin and control my blood sugar, But at the end of the day, this is one of those days where I'm really fighting the demons of depression, and just kind of feeling a little lost, and yet a little bit too closed in. So, but that's what we have God for. That's what we have each other for. And whatever you turn to for your peace, and if you feel the way I do, you do that. So, anyway, that's my thing. Hope you're dealing with your thing in a good way. And peace and love to you.